And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 3 underway here in the preview series from the Chase Fieldhouse here in Wilmington, Delaware. My name is Ryan Holzbus. I appreciate you all joining us here on what is a beautiful Sunday outside. We're indoors here at the Chase Fieldhouse. A beautiful Sunday, October 5th, the preview series, as we appreciate you joining us. I know we got a lot of college coaches that are likely tuning in, as right now the class of 2029s, a lot of they're all freshmen here for this morning. Again, our third game, the final game for the class of 29s, as the class of 2028 teams start to file in. For this third game, it's BBL, Building Blocks Lacrosse, and two-way. Two-way played the first game, beat Dukes 6-4, and then BBL just in the game that we just watched took care of Dukes Elite. So both of these two teams trying to stay winless here, and not really it's not like this is a tournament format where they're necessarily trying to win, but obviously, you're always trying to win, trying to perform at your highest level. And you're also always obviously trying to put up great tape here, as this is, more so what this event is for, to put out tape for coaches, and, it's your high school coaches, college coaches to all view this information and, put these players in the best position to succeed. As we are a minute through our first quarter. Ball on the ground as BBL will begin our third game here offensively. For the moment, two-way had picked up the loose ball. Cameron Johnson had 2 goals in the first game for two-way. Whistle, and BBL will keep possession right here offensively. Bo Chepkavich had a goal there in game 1 for BBL, as I'll just start referring to him as game 1 for each of these two teams rather than game 1, game 2. Brady Dakin having some trouble here. Nice defensive play there, and a big collision. That's 7 in blue now for two-way. Luke Golden, freshman at Greenwich. As it was the goalie, Harry O'Connor, coming up with the loose ball. His outlet pass to Lachlan Wenger. Gets there, Wenger across midfield. Here's Jax Monty, had a hat trick in game 1 for BBL. There's goal number 4 of the morning, and the first here in our third game. Jax Monty, Ridgewood freshman, makes the score 1-0 early here for BBL. Replay here. Nobody picked him up. Nobody slid to him. 23, 7, 14. They were all sort of watching. As Monty, if you're not going to step to him, he's going to take it all the way. Gives BBL an early 1-0 lead. As it's Jack Van Orden, 7 in black for BBL to take the faceoffs. For two-way, it's number 8, Santiago Loinas. And it's going to be a whistle called against Loinas, an infraction there on the faceoff. So BBL look to add to their 1-goal lead. Get that goal up there on the scoreboard for y'all watching at home. There we go, 1-0 BBL. Yeah, nice defensive play there, two-way. Again, it's Luke Golden. A couple of moments ago had the big collision on the other side of midfield as two-way was trying to get it across midfield. That time turned into a BBL possession. This time it's going to be two-way, or I might have jinxed it. Trying to get it up across midfield. Sanford was unable to control it, but it's Jack Anderson, the Brunswick freshman, who gets it across midfield, two-way, to settle into their first offensive possession here, 3.5 minutes into quarter number 1. It's Alexander Chang, Bergen Catholic freshman, who'll hand it off for Ethan Quiet. He'll be playing his high school lacrosse at Scarsdale. Plays catch with Griffin Hart. A couple Brunswick freshmen here for two-way. I mentioned it at the, I think it was at the end of the last game. Just some big-time programs, whether it's public schools or some of the big private schools up in Connecticut and New Jersey. I'm personally just much more familiar with the Jersey teams. I cover some of the New Jersey private schools. So just a little bit more familiar, but definitely just know, your Fairfield Preps, your Archbishop Stepinac, your Brunswick schools. Some big-time programs up there in Connecticut and up in New York. As the two-way offensive possession stalled, BBL quickly the other way and into the stick of Jax Monty. Total of 4 goals this morning, and he has 1 here in BBL's second game of the morning, this being game 3. As we're 4.5 minutes through, Gavin Gibson The Del Barton freshman will control from the near high corner of the restraining box, now on the far high corner. Hands it off for Oliver St. John, Mountain Lakes freshman, one of those New Jersey public powerhouses that just seems to be in the Final Four for, I believe, Group 1. Pass up to the point. It is Anthony Chase, St. Joe's regional freshman. And again, the defensive play made by Luke Golden. Greenwich freshman that's how the ball got on the turf. And with that orange helmet, St. John able to recover the ground ball. Played through Chase. Here's Gibson. Gets to dancing against Griffin Hart. Right-handed shot, a sizzler up and over the belief stick side high over Blake O'Hara. Gavin Gibson, Del Barton freshman, his first goal of the morning, gives BBL a 2-0 lead. Let's see that one again, Zach. That was a sizzler as he started to his left and got back to his right on the run. And looks like that was up over that stick side high. What a shot there from Gibson. 2-0 BBL lead after they just played a full 48-minute game. 2A had a hour break. And 2A off the faceoff, able to control the loose ball. Drew Rauch, the Cheshire freshman. Rauch head up, looking to the crease, and realizes that his team does not have the numbers. And he'll carry along the end line, allow his two-way offense to make some offensive substitutions, get some personnel on the field. Here's Rauch, head up, nice pass, finds, that's 15, Alexander Chang had a goal in the first game for two-way. Now spun to Hughes, and that's 96 in blue. We don't have a 96. But regardless, it's Chang to his left. He's matched up with, that's 21, Anthony Bunnecant, Gil St. Bernard's freshman, 96, left hand free off the mark. And I don't know where the ball went, and players don't know where it went either. It's all the way up at the point in the stick of Gavin Glasband. Or excuse me, that's 20 in blue, Jack Anderson. Called out Glasman for BBL. Here's Chang, working east-west from his right to his left, passes it back to his right, and this is now Sam Catanacci, sticking his right hand, running out of an angle, and his bounce shot, looks like O'Connor got a piece of it, the BBL goalkeeper. And the shot will skip its way all the way to the far corner, and our official will award two-way the closest there. And that's where Drew Rauch will start with it. Now Holden Hughes running away from his defender, Lachlan Wenger, Randolph High School defenseman matched up with him. That was Anderson trying to get a quick pass to Zapka, and the two weren't on the same page. Ball had to play along the BBL end line, and with a 2-0 lead, 4 minutes left to play in quarter number one, BBL will clear it from their end line. Dangerous outlet pass from O'Connor. Found its way to Bunnecant, and he's trail checked from behind. Here's Anderson, two-way, trying to get a goal on the board as Catanacci got his right hand free, but he also got trail checked, and the ball's still on the ground. Rauch able to come up with the loose ball, faked the pass to the middle of the field, then looked like he was going to make an attempt to goal. Pass back to Catanacci, and a big-time save in cage by Harry O'Connor. Ball still loose along the far sideline. A couple blue jerseys over there, now black jerseys in the area, and coming up with it, Drew Rauch. Seemingly has picked up every loose ball offensively here for two-way, and their first goal here in game number 2. Jack Anderson, Brunswick freshman, makes the score 2-1. And it all started with Drew Rauch. Jack Anderson, bounce shot, beats O'Connor. Get that goal up there for you, 2-1 BBL lead. Anderson, his first goal here this morning in their 2 contests as we close in on 2:30 left to play in our first 12-minute quarter here from Chase Fieldhouse. You're watching the preview series. Big-time recruiting event here. 2A lacrosse, building blocks lacrosse, Duke's Elite, as well as Team 10 fielding a class of 2027 team. Nice trail check from behind. I believe that was, who was that? That was Von Wiegen, I believe, who was looking to skip into a left-handed shot, got trailed from behind. 2A, now offensively, Drew Rauch will play it to Charlie Rice, 2 in blue. And now Ethan Quiet, as 2A will look to tie our score at 2 inside 2 minutes before we end quarter number 1. Here's Rice, right-handed shot, sizzled up and over the far high corner. As we get whistles from our officials. Quick stoppage. Looks like we had multiple balls on the field of play. And Sam Catanacci will start with it from the end line. $1:30 left to play here in our first quarter. Catanacci matched up with Brady Kopp, Pingree freshman. Catanacci, defenders for BBL on the turf, and Sam Catanacci able to skip into a right-handed shot. It's off the mark, and Drew Rauch able to get there to our near corner, keep the possession right here with 2A. And it looks like a penalty flag is down in the far corner below goal line extended. So we're inside a minute. And it looks like that's just going to wrap up our first quarter. 1 minute left to play. And we're going to have a penalty, a 6-on-5 man advantage for 2A on the other side. So a little bit of a long timeout for us. We're going to step aside here live from the Chase Fieldhouse. You're watching the preview series on RDPLEX Films. Don't go anywhere. We're live right here on YouTube. Quick restart, ladies and gentlemen, for quarter number 2. Live here from Chase Fieldhouse. You're watching the preview series live right here on YouTube, RDPLEX Films. 2A, trailing 2-1, a chance here to tie our score at 2, as that was a skip pass. Griffin Hart found Drew Rauch in front. Rauch went for a shuffle shot. Or is it a shuttle shot? I always get myself confused when I'm trying to term that, but saved by the goalie. It's still Harry O'Connor. He had the first half in game 1 for BBL, taking care of half 1 as well here in game number 2. As O'Connor keeps the score at 2-1, BBL leads. Anthony Chase carries behind. He's matched up with Nico Zapka, defenseman. He'll be playing his high school lacrosse at Don Bosco. And BBL trying to work it along the far sideline, pass off the mark. And 2A will take over. Charlie Rice. His pass in the middle of the field finds Danny Stern. And now Stern hands it off for Alexander Chang. Pass behind. Catanacci will recover what was a loose ball for a moment. And now here's Drew Rauch. Cheshire freshman gets around Lachlan Wenger. Pass in the middle of the field for Charlie Rice, and his shot saved by Harry O'Connor. And O'Connor will collect the loose ball. Outlet pass finds its way to Oliver St. John. Here's St. John. Defender is Anderson. Trips up and sprawls out on the turf. However, he's back up to his feet. And St. John will hand off to an offensive teammate. That's Bo Chepkavich. Got the goal scoring started in the first game for BBL. Now here's St. John. St. John matched up with Griffin Hart. 2 goals in the first game for 2A. Here's Cole Murphy, Seton Hall prep freshman. Big collision there at the end of that one, as well as Brady Dakin took one more hit from Luke Golden as the ball made its way out of play along the end line. And 2A will take over defensively. Here goes Jack Anderson right in front of us along our near sideline, sprinting and bulldozing through stick checks. And a unforced turnover. Anderson, after all that hard work, trying to find Charlie Rice, and he goes up off the head of his stick, up off the plastic, and it skips out of play along the 2-way sideline. BBL will now take over. 9:30 left to play here in half number 1. And across midfield for BBL is Brady Kopp, Pingree freshman. Hands it off for Jax Monty. Total of 4 goals through a game and a half for BBL is number 3 in black, Jax Monty. He'll be playing, or starting his high school lacrosse career at Ridgewood up in Bergen County, New Jersey. My neck of the woods up Bergen-Passaic County. Here is Monty, who's working for the moment against Cameron Johnson, the short stick, and then switched off. Another short stick. Anderson took over. Ball jarred loose. O'Hara with the loose ball. Quickly the other way. Rauch. One more for Anderson. And a nice save there by O'Connor. More so got a piece of it. But that Anderson shot is going to find the back of the net, and that ties our score up at 2. Quickly from the collect from O'Connor to Drew Rauch. Rauch head up and is able to find, it's Jack Anderson on the run, his second goal here in this second game for 2A. And that ties up our score at 2. Face-off won momentarily by Santiago Loinas. Rather than the ground ball, looked like he was trying to just push it forward to himself. And then that shot in transition is easily handled by, that's Blake O'Hara. Right, yeah, 0 in blue, Blake O'Hara. And we got 0 in black, or more red, it's Harry O'Connor. Here's Rauch, 44 in blue for 2A. Up around midfield, allows one more offensive substitution to be made. It was Holden Hughes, had a goal in the first game for 2A. As we approach the 7-minute mark here in half number 1. Liam Adams, Don Bosco freshman, to his right now, back to his left. Here's Rauch. He's going to dodge to his right. Middle of the field. Nice hesitation there, and on the shot attempt off the mark, up and over the crossbar. Back up by 2A, and Brady Meehan will keep possession right here. Nice job there by Rauch on the redodge after Adams went left and then to his right. Adams will pass it off back to Rauch, and now behind for Brady Meehan. He's matched up with Lachlan Wenger. Or excuse me, that's 37 in black, Teddy Dunn, Chatham High School freshman. Here's Adams. Playing at Don Bosco come this spring. His pass to Holden Hughes, not handled. Here comes Gavin Gibson the other way. Quick passing, finds its way to, that's 18, Christopher Wells, Pascack Hills freshman, and his shot was off the mark. And now a bouncing ball across midfield will make its way all the way to Harry O'Connor. Ball still on the ground. Neo Zapka pushes it forward. And a wide open in front. And what a save! Harry O'Connor on the doorstep as it was Charlie Rice one-on-one. At least I believe it was Charlie Rice. No, I don't think it was Charlie Rice. Maybe Meehan one-on-one with Harry O'Connor. And O'Connor sends that one back. What a save by the Westfield freshman. Keeps our score at 2-2. Down the other end is Cole Murphy, Seton Hall prep freshman. And that breaks the 2-2 tie and gives BBL back the lead. It's going to be a 3-2 lead now. Nice job there by Murphy to stay north of goal line extended as he already was, and there's good stick skills there by number 4 in black. Gives BBL a 3-2 lead. We're inside 5 minutes, approaching halftime here in game number 3 of the preview series. Final game between the class of 2029 teams. Santiago Loinas will win that face-off in the ground ball, won by Cameron Johnson. Johnson trail checked from behind, loose ball. Rauch had it for a moment. Ball skied up in the air. It's going to be won by Brady Meehan, or he was at least the first one there, but unable to win that ground ball. Long outlet pass. Harry O'Connor finds a teammate. That's 12 in black, Brady Kopp. Here's Murphy, the most recent goal scorer for the defending non-public A state champ for New Jersey, Seton Hall Prep. That's where Murphy will be playing his high school lacrosse. Here's Oliver St. John. He'll be heading to Mountain Lakes. Matched up with Griffin Hart, freshman at Brunswick. And Oliver St. John, his first goal of the morning, started to his right, then back to his left on the spin, and able to get his left hand free. Back of the net gives BBL a 4-2 lead. Started to his right, spin, left hand free, and a bounce shot. Stick side low on Blake O'Hara. BBL 4-2 lead now. Add that goal there for you. 4-2 lead. We're gonna make it live. There we go. 3 minutes left to play here in half number 1. Scrum for the loose ball. It's recovered by Jack Van Orden. Quick pass out to the far wing and a step down shot. That was 20 in black. Gavin Glasband, his first goal here in this second game, second goal of the morning. And BBL starting to stack on some goals here. It's now a 5-2 lead. All started with the face-off winning ground ball, though, from Van Orden. And the catch, step down, and finish. Sniper shot there from Gavin Glasband. Now has 2 goals on the morning, an infraction called on the face-off against Santiago Loinas. And that'll give BBL another offensive possession here, coming up on 2 minutes to play in our first half. Here's Monty from up at midfield. 4 goals here on the morning, just 1 goal here in this second contest. Here's Chip Cavich. Scored BBL's first goal of the morning in game number 1. And now here's Brady Dakin, Don Bosco Prep freshman. A couple Don Bosco Prep players on both teams. Has BBL out of Florham Park, New Jersey. 2A out of Connecticut. I believe Greenwich is their main headquarters where they have much of their operations out of. Here's Monty. Again, goal gets north of goal line extended. His 5th goal of the morning, second here in this second game. Now a 6-2 BBL lead. Here as the class of 2029s compete. Monty be playing his lacrosse at Ridgewood as Anderson tried to get a trail check in on him. Nice stick work there from Jax Monty. Now a 6-2 lead. I got to add 2 goals on there for you all at home. 6-2 lead now for BBL. Looks like we're going to get a loose ball push, and 2A will take over in their defensive third. It'll be Charlie Rice, Choate, Rosemary Hall freshman, and he plays it forward for Shane Sanford, who'll be playing at Fairfield Ludlow. Here's Drew Rauch. Called his name plenty. Right hand almost free. A fake jump shot, and then a bounce shot sneaks underneath Harry O'Connor. Wonder what we're going to do here with this one. I think they blew it dead for the quarter break as we come up on the end of our first quarter. And I don't think that goal will count, but a great job there. We'll call it out by Drew Rauch on the fake jump shot and then a bounce shot under Harry O'Connor. But we will get to halftime. BBL a 6-2 lead. Don't go anywhere. Be back in a couple moments for half number 2, live from the Chase Fieldhouse. You're watching the preview series live right here on YouTube, RDPLEX Films. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Half number 2 underway here between 2A and BBL. Our third and final game for the class of 2029s will be followed by class of 2028s next. As here's Jack Anderson, fresh off the face-off win. His team trailing 6-2. 2A trying to get some goals on the board here. So I believe we have a goalie change. It was Harry O'Connor in goal for BBL in half number 1 of both games. Jed Sobler, as he did in in game number 1, takes over here in half number 2. Likewise for two-way, it was Blake O'Hara in cage. It's now Landon Hammerling, Bronxville freshman, number 13 in blue. Or excuse me, 17 in blue for two-way. That shot was off the mark. BBL will take over from their own end line defensively. And through goalie Jed Sobler. And across midfield along the far sideline. Brady Dakin. A couple really talented Bradys have gone through Don Bosco. Brady Scaletti is a senior, just finished his Don Bosco career. He'll be playing at Duke in the spring. All-state player. As there's Dakin, pass for Anthony Chase, and didn't really get pressured much. Sort of just waltzed his way towards goal. See that replay one more time, but that is the St. Joe's regional freshman. Anthony Chase was able to get past Griffin Hart. Gives BBL now a 7-2 lead. But a lot of really talented Brady's. Scaletti. Brady Kushner will be a senior this spring, and he's committed to Loyola, Maryland. And early there from two-way, saw it. I mean, I'm right along midfield, but I was able to see that live. I was Santiago Loinez just a little bit early there on the faceoff. So BBL a chance now to continue adding to their current 7-2 lead. St. John, 11 in black, wearing that orange Mountain Lakes helmet. Now back to his left, keeps that stick in his left hand. Now back to his right, on the run, nice save by, that was 17 in blue, by Hammerling. Hammerling had to go dig that one out too, had to go down and get it. And then good job there by Hammerling, making himself available there as an option as he had a teammate looking for help. And now two-way, it was Sanford starting the offensive possession, finds Drew Rouch, his shot off the mark, and we should stay right here on that shot attempt, and we will. Sam Catanacci will start with it from the end line. He's matched up with Harrison Misan. Misan, a Bridgewater freshman. Bridgewater, Raritan. Here's Jack Anderson. Matched up with Brady Dakin. Anderson keeping the stick in his right hand to Rouch to his left. Rouch looking for a shot, and he'll get something off. And Sobler will collect. And BBL to clear up along the far sideline. Sobler, outlet pass across midfield, finds its intended target. Quickly now to the long pole, Grayson Lovecchio. And as he was seemingly winding up to take a pass or take a shot, looks like they do deem it a pass. He gets laid out to the turf. And now it does look they do change it to a shot. BBL will take over. At first it looked like two-way was going to kickstart and clear. And instead our official will award BBL the possession. They're winning 7-2. Looking to add to that lead. We're 4 minutes through quarter number 3. Here's Chase, most recent goal scorer for BBL. His shot off the mark. Here behind is Max Von Wiegen. Had a goal in quarter number, or maybe in the last game, Von Wiegen had a goal, is what it was. Don Bosco prep freshman. That pass off the mark and a skip out of play. And two-way will take it from the far sideline as that's the Dukes Elite Class of 2028 team getting ready. We got the BBL Class of 2028 teams right to our right along the near sideline as Anderson makes his way over towards us on the near sideline across midfield. Skip pass in front, unable to handle it was 14 in blue, Cameron Johnson. And now here's Johnson behind the goal. Skip pass towards the far wing, far sideline. Here's Griffin Hart, had 2 goals in the first game for two-way. However, he's been quiet here in game number 2. Now Charlie Rice. Handoff for Ethan Quiet. He's been quiet on the scoring sheet, but I've called his name plenty. Number 3 in blue, Ethan Quiet. Here's Griffin Hart. Pass behind the goal for Sam Catanacci. Skip pass in front. Drew Rauch was cutting towards the crease from the top of the restraining box. Ball kicks its way across midfield, recovered by Monty. Looking for goal number 6 instead. He'll play it off to his left. And an easy one-on-one and a goal. Christopher Wells, the Pascack Hills freshman, nets his first goal of the morning. Now an 8-2 BBL lead. Very unselfish there by Jax Monty. Already 5 goals on the morning, 2 goals in this game. Draws the slide and an easy bounce shot from Christopher Wells. As we're through the midway point here in quarter number 3, inside 6 minutes, it's a 7-2 BBL lead. Loose ball on the face-off, recovered by Building Box Lacrosse. 8-2. Thank you, Zach, for updating the score for us. My apologies if I read off the wrong score, even though I have it here on my score sheet correct. Ball to play. Two-way will take over. And a whistle from our official in the middle of the field. And we're back to underway. Across midfield, it's the long pole Shane Sanford. Fairfield Ludlow is where he'll play his high school lacrosse. Here's Drew Rauch. Working east-west to his right. Ping-ponging off some defenders. He had 34 Lachlan Wenger, 24 Harrison Misan, meeting Rauch as he was doing his best to try to just get to the middle of the field and try to get some sort of an angle for a shot. Here's Catanacci dancing behind the goal, and his pass is off the mark. And it will skip out of play. BBL will take over at midfield, far sideline. Here's Zapka. Or excuse me, that was Dakin for Gibson. And now a save from Hammerling, and we get a whistle. Flag is down at midfield on the two-way defensive half of midfield. So BBL about to be man up here, 6-on-5 man advantage. Not sure who necessarily that penalty came against. Looks like number 11 in blue. That's Danny Stern. He'll take a knee down in the penalty box. So a 6-on-5 man advantage here for BBL, an 8-2 lead, and a chance to add to it. Chance to also be methodical here. If they had some sort of play right that they want to execute, it's a good time to do it. Leading by 6 goals. Here is Monty. Has 2 of those 8 goals. 5 on the morning. Dakin. Back to Dakin. As he plays catch with Oliver St. John along the far sideline. As we're back to all even, penalty is released. 6-on-6. It's Cole Murphy behind, the Seton Hall Prep freshman. As the Pirates look to defend their 2025 New Jersey non-public A title. Quickly, two-way, a chance to cut the deficit, and they do. It's Alexander Chang, Bergen Catholic freshman, his first goal here in game number 2. And that'll make the score 8-3 BBL. Nice job there by Luke Golden. The long stick in transition keeps his head up. Had a third goal there for two-way 8-3 BBL lead with 2 minutes left to play. And again, our third and final game for the class of 2029s. We'll have 3 games to follow for the class of 2028s. And then 3 more for class of 2027. Two-way win that face-off. Here's Jackson Wirtz behind the cage. He'll pass it off for Catanacci, wearing number 97 for two-way. Ball and stick of Liam Adams. Don Bosco going against Oliver St. John. Likely matchup that you could expect going forward into the future with 2 Gibbs division teams play each other every year. Bounce shot off the mark, two-way. They win the run out to the end line. It'll be Jackson Wirtz to kickstart this next offensive set. $1:30 left to play here in quarter number 3. It's Chang, most recent goal scorer for two-way. Sticking his left hand, will play it to the far wing for Catanacci. It's Liam Adams, hounded by Harrison Misan. And Misan going to win that battle. Out along the far low corner. And Misan will play it to goalie Jed Sobler as we hit the minute mark here in quarter number 3. An 8-3 BBL lead. After they won, I believe it was 6-4 over Dukes in the last game. BBL kicks it forward, and we get a whistle from our, I believe that was our far sideline official. Quick stoppage and a restart as we're closing in on 30 seconds. Here's Jack Anderson for two-way. Runs through a stick check and stick in his right hand. They call that a Canadian release with the stick in his right hand, and it was, that overhand finish as two-way able to cut the deficit down to 4 goals, an 8-4 BBL lead as we'll end the third quarter and get to the quarter break. Nice job by Anderson there. Again, running through stick checks as you see there, sticking his right hand and just with his hands, just, fix the hands and reset them. That Canadian release makes it 8-4 BBL. We'll step aside for a quick break. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the preview series live from the Chase Fieldhouse. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 12 more minutes of lacrosse for the class of 2029s here from the Chase Fieldhouse in Wilmington, Delaware. As you are watching the preview series, game 3 of 9. We have 3 class of 2028 games on tap and then followed by 3 class of 2027 games. So make sure to tune in. I know we're competing with NFL football, but if you've got a split screen, make sure to get us going here on YouTube live, an RDPLEX Films production. My name is Ryan Holzbus. I'm joined by Ryan DePaul. He's operating the camera, our executive producer, and Zach Morgan is our producer here this morning into afternoon.
Happy to join you guys.
Certainly, yeah, we appreciate you being here, Zach. Obviously, Ryan organizing this between the 3 of us. And a great event, obviously, for the kids and trying to highlight them here. Understanding that, obviously, a lot of friends and family tuning in, but this is for recruiting purposes. So, obviously, our general audience being a lot of those college coaches that didn't have to make the trip all the way here to Wilmington.
Friends, family, college coaches. The big thing here is that they are all over the country. We are streaming worldwide.
Nice job defensively there by BBL. And then an errant pass skips across midfield, and BBL will take over offensively from midfield. Yeah, just allows for these coaches not to have to come from all over the country. No commits yet. Obviously, once we get to the 2027s, I'll start calling out college names because a lot of those guys have committed, whether they did so, weeks and months ago or, if, in here into September, this being a hot time for those announcements to be made. A lot of those coaches not having to make the trip and join us here on the what is the near sideline, the opposite sideline of the teams. Typically, you'd have coaches lined up here for this whole day. Instead, it's just the 3 of us here doing it for you. Hopefully, adding some good commentary as well. Trying to make sure we highlight high schools, and again, once we get to the guys that are committed, where they're committed.
What a shot!
What a shot there! Yep. You called it, Zach. Oliver St. John, that's his second goal here of this game. Make it 9-4 BBL.
Take a look at that replay.
Nice job there by St. John. Mountain Lakes freshman playing in the Gibbs division. As I mentioned, I believe they're the Group 1. I had done Group 2 or Group 1 and 2 a couple years ago, the championships, and Mountain Lakes had won that season. That was 2024. As two-way wins the face-off, it's Cameron Johnson, had 2 goals in the first game for two-way. on the run. Alexander Chang, Bergen Catholic freshman. That's a nice shot rip there. Sticking his left hand off the mark. Be Jackson Wirtz to start with it from behind the goal. So we're 3 minutes through our fourth quarter. BBL class of 2028 getting ready to our right and left. As you see there, the far side, that's the Dukes Elite class of 2028. As Alexander Chang, third goal of the morning, second here in game number 2 as he works to his left down our near alley. Nice job there by Chang to get two-way on the board here in quarter number 4. 9-5 lead now for BBL. Chang, a freshman at Bergen Catholic, playing the non-public B. There's plenty of players on both teams in the NJ non-public A and B. Bergen Catholic, you got Bosco, Del Barton, some Seton Hall Prep. Here's Griffin Hart, 6 in blue. He'll play for Drew Rauch. Inside 8 minutes. Here in the preview series, game 3 for the class of 2029s. Rauch will hold on to it. He's matched up with Grayson Lavecchio. And here's Griffin Hart, one of a handful of Brunswick freshmen and Brunswick high school lacrosse players between these 3 levels for 2A. As we'll see their 2028s in a little bit, as well as their 2027s later this afternoon. Bounce pass finds Ethan Quiet. Not that it was exactly intended to be a bounce pass, but Quiet, a good job recovering that loose ball. Here's Drew Rauch to the middle of the field. Right hand free, and a nice save by Jed Sobler. Has been called upon a few times here in half number 2. And Sobler keeps our score at 9-5 as we approach the midway point here in quarter number 4. 2A trying to get the ball forward. Black jersey hit the turf. Ball still loose in. Ground ball recovered by Cole Murphy, Seton Hall Prep freshman. Bonnekamp. Play it to his left for Gavin Glasband. And now here's Chepkavich. Chepkavich and Jags Monty. And even Grayson Lavecchio, defender, 3 Ridgewood freshmen.
This next group of BBL kids are just chomping at the bit to get on the field.
Oh, they're waiting. They've been down here for probably since like 10:45, ready to get on the field. So it's gonna be exciting as that game gets going at 11:30. That shot hit the outside of the netting. I believe that was Christopher Wells,
Had
18
me
and
for
black.
a second.
Here's two-way trying to get one back here. Inside 6 minutes. It's Jackson Wirtz. Wide open shot. Nico Zabka, Don Bosco freshman, let a left-handed shot go, or was that number 19? I believe that might have been 14. It was Cameron Johnson, so my apologies there. Hotchkiss freshman Cameron Johnson, his 3rd goal of the morning. First goal here in this second game for two-way. It's now a 9-6 game, so two-way starting to mount a little bit of a comeback here in this preview series game. Let me get that goal up there for you. 9-2-6 with 5 minutes left to play. Yeah, we'll see, Zach, how that next game shakes out, because these BBL guys by us are ready to go. Looks like the Dukes guys have kind of just been sitting over there hanging out for the last 20 minutes or so.
I would like to, at this point, shout out the coaches from BBL for not letting your players hit us in our nice, convenient little setup here on the sideline.
They were. We had drills going on each side, to our rights and to our lefts. They're using the whole sideline here. As two-way trying to add one more right in front. Oof. And
good movement.
I'm going to say it was a goal with the stick fakes from Brady Meehan. That's his first goal of the morning. They're going to count it. It sounded like it hit a couple pipes and the bar jarred out of the goal, but nonetheless, that's 3 straight goals for 2A and a 9-7 lead for BBL. You see it did. It hit the near side pipe and then the far side netting.
Shit.
So it is 9-6 BBL. Face off one for the moment by Loinas. However, a great job there. Fighting for it was Van Orden. And the ball will kick its way out of play. And two-way possession along the far sideline. Trailing by 2 goals. Get that goal up there for you. 9-7 BBL with 3:30 left to play. Not that this game, wins and losses, really means anything for these two club programs, but really just bragging rights, as I mentioned. A lot of guys, you know, on each of these two teams will be playing high school together. They, you know, play probably against each other and with each other. Plenty players from each of these two teams, especially being that this is, you know, Connecticut, New Jersey-based programs. A lot of New Jersey players on two-way. New York players playing for each. Inside 3 minutes, BBL looking to add to their lead as that shot came off the right hand of Anthony Chase, St. Joe's freshman. Off the brick wall there behind the goal. As it's Dakin, carries to his right and up towards midfield for Bo Chepkavich. 1 goal this morning. It was the first goal for BBL in their first game against Dukes. As for Jax Monty, he's got 5 here this morning, 2 in this second game. Looking for an assist as well to tally on with it, however, unable to come up with the pass. I believe that was Brady Dakin. Two-way goalie Landon Hammerling, Bronxville freshman goalie, will carry it forward. 2 minutes left to play. Luke Golden sends a pass forward in the direction of Alexander Chang. Chang was unable to come up with it and now kicked forward towards midfield. Loose ball. Sticks
in the
hit
air,
the turf.
contact.
Oh man, yellow flags, dirty laundry all over the place. Got a flag from each of our 2 officials. So inside 2 minutes, approaching a minute 30. We'll get this sorted out. Our officials will come together and we'll see how much action we even get here with as we're, you know, minute 20 left to play.
Taking a look at the
BBL
replay.
at 9-7 lead. Yeah, let's get that replay. Anderson shoulder to shoulder, and that's where that flag came in. Looked pretty clean on the replay, but it will be Anderson to take a kneel down. That'll pretty much wrap up his day. There's just 1 minute left to go here for the class of 2029 here at the preview series. If you're a college coach tuning in, we hope you enjoyed our coverage here for the class of 2029s, and make sure you stick around. Class of 2028's coming up next. Dukes Elite and BBL to get us going is our first game on tap to start at 11:30, so just in about 5 minutes or so. As we're inside a minute, and it looks like that should pretty much all but do it. If they're just going to let the clock run out, we might as well just whistle it dead at this point. Yeah, it's a great showing, though, from our 3 teams for the class of 2029. As I say that, they add one more.
Why not?
One more, Christopher Wells, the Pascack Hills freshman. And that'll make the score 10-7 BBL. That should all but do it.
Someone was complaining about a lack of offense before. We'll find that guy.
17 total goals. I think that probably was me, man. 2-1 after the first quarter. BBL turned it on there in quarter number 4. So BBL a 10-7 win to wrap up the class of 2029s here at the Chase Fieldhouse for the preview series. Don't go anywhere. As I mentioned, class of 2028 is next, as you see there on your screen. 3 games to start at 11:30. BBL and Dukes Elite in about 4 minutes or so. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with full coverage of the preview series live from Chase Fieldhouse.